alone in southern Italy. After spending 3 weeks in Spain, surrounded by people, I now have time to be completely alone. Surrounded only by my thoughts, the mountains, the ocean, and the birds. I talk to trees. I sit under the sun and breathe, think. Again, I get to be a hermit. Yeah, something is just being released in this painting. Oh my god, the monster. Studio space! Guys, there's so much natural light in here. And this is only one side. Only one side of the studio. Okay, first of all, these ceilings. You guys, I have a whole other section that I will probably not even use. I will definitely dance around in here. I'm gonna dance so much. Look at these beautiful lights. Oh, it'll be so nice to work at nighttime too here. I never work in the evening, but oh my gosh, I really just like. I literally just want to run around. Wow, spaceman. We have the first layer here. I'm really trying to lean into this aspect of duality that shows up in all my work. So we have like this blue side, blue, green, cool colors on this side and the warm shades on this side. Very masculine, feminine, but they're very merged right now, which is, you know, kind of the point. I had this dream. It wasn't really a dream actually. It was like I astral traveled unconsciously, and if you don't know what that is, it's like when it's like the stage in between awake and sleep, and it's when your spirit body separates from your physical body and you go into what's called the astral realm or whatever. There's so many different words for it, right? You go into the spirit world, let's just say. But a couple nights ago when I was in Spain, I had like this similar experience where all of a sudden I was like in between this waking and sleep stage, and I was like transported to like this, it felt like heaven, honestly. And in my own voice, I said to myself, "You are home now." It was the most clear voice I've ever heard in my entire life. And it's not like when like you're just like speaking to yourself in your mind, right? Like this, I don't know, it was so clear, so loud in my voice, it was so calm. And like it was just constant visions of like of heaven, honestly. Like all of these beings were, well, first of all, I was going through several doors. I was like walking through so many doors, just like, and all these beings, like these heavenly beings, I'm assuming, were just like walking past me. So many figures that I couldn't make out. And so like, from my memory, like I have like me, myself, in red, and like all around me was like this heavenly energy, which I kind of like scribbled in yellow. But I very vividly remember like this blue being on my left side. And I remember I was like in like a palace, and I kept trying to go outside, you know, but my arms were like literally like jello. Like it was like this. I was like walking like this. My legs were doing the exact same thing. I had no control over my body. So I kept trying to go outside, and again, like I was conscious, you know. I've lucid dreamt many times before. It didn't feel like that, but also it wasn't like a full astral travel like I did the previous time. So I really don't know what to call this. But yeah, I just remember just trying to get outside with my jello arms and my jello legs, and I kept thinking the word nature, nature, nature. Again, just like going through all these doors and like beings passing by me, and I never got to nature. Oh my God, there's birds on top of me. I never got to like the outdoors, but I remember I arrived in nature. You know, it was more so a feeling of being in nature, but there was no grass or trees or anything like that. It was just like this very safe feeling of being in nature, and you know, it was a remembering that I am nature. We are nature. You know, like there's a Native American tribe that doesn't have a separation of the word of us and nature. Last story, because I think I've been rambling, I went through a huge shroom journey a couple years back, and I meditated for like 2 hours, and in this meditation, like I was just like bawling, sobbing, I was laughing, and I like became a flower. Like I remember I was in the soil and I was like in a jungle and I was a flower. And that shroom journey really reminded me that like we are nature. There is no separation between us and nature. It's not nature over there, grass, trees, jungles, forests over there, and then like us, this singular, you know, being on this side. Like we are nature. This feels very landscapey to me. I don't exactly know what's happening, of course, because it's only the first day, first layer. Again, this duality exists. Try to lean into that. This is that dream that I was talking about, the astral travel that's right here. Yes, it's pretty interesting in my opinion. Again, who knows what's happening? These very much feel like beings. This is like sort of like a door, I guess. Just more abstract thingies. It's so nice to have like this dedicated studio space because I can just leave everything here and it'll be exactly where I left it for tomorrow. We're taking a pause. I drew this sketch yesterday and I am now putting it on this canvas. And while I was painting, I'm looking at him and it seems like he's almost dancing, but also trapped. This seemingly dancing man is like in this box and he's trapped, and I'm realizing that this is the same, it's going along the same theme of all my other paintings, which is this duality of, you know, dancing on your grave and laughing while you're crying. And it's just this theme of duality is always showing up in my work, you know. Even my last painting, The Man Dances Anyway, where the man was in hell and there was, you know, fire and drowning, but he was choosing to dance anyway. And this is very much the same energy. You know, there's always this duality that I'm exploring in my work. And I didn't even, you know, this sketch just kind of came out of nowhere. But yeah, like, pretty crazy how the subconscious always, you know, is exploring these things. And that is a wrap on day 2 of painting. We started a lot of new canvases. I'm gonna try my best to put in as much hours as I can in painting this month, because I'll be in Italy for a little while, a little bit over a month. Yay. currently watching Art Drunk's series, How We Art. I consume everything about art, whether it's, making art myself or watching documentaries, interviews. I just love listening to people talk about art, and they always inform my own practice. I highly recommend whatever, it's doing like market research, right? This is not new, but I consume everything about my passion because it informs me about what I can create and what's out there. It just helps me evolve, and honestly, like, even if I wasn't painting myself, I just love learning about art. So yeah, I highly recommend Art Drunk. Who else have I been watching a lot? Let's see. Timestamp, Louisiana channel, of course. And some YouTubers that I really enjoy that, help me creatively, not only in painting, but creatively in general, is Anais Lar. She's a Black American writer who lives in Paris. Moya Mawini lives in Paris as well. She's very popular. If you don't know her, great videos. Just like, yeah, beautiful video, diary, journalistic type videos. Yeah, those are just some channels I recommend to you. This hotel doubles as a artist residency / gallery, so everything is curated so perfectly and beautifully, like all the art and the furniture, the garden, everything, like there are just sculptures everywhere. There's art hanging everywhere. Yeah, really beautifully curated, and I mean, just exquisite taste, We are closing up shop for the day. I feel lost, but liberated, and finding the way. It's so funny because after every painting you make, you're like, oh my God, like I figured it out. I found my style, or I did something. And then that project is over, and then you're forced to start a new one, and you're so excited because you finally figured something out. And then you realize that you know nothing. I've been working on smaller canvases just to experiment, and I feel like this is such a no pressure way of, finding gestures, loosening your wrist, and yeah, that's something that I've been implementing and has been working really well. I feel very stuck with these paintings because I feel like when you're putting down the composition, the first beginning layers, you're kind of sometimes focusing on shapes because, again, like you're starting the painting out, you're putting down the base, right? So for me, when I'm putting down these shapes, I get so stuck in seeing shapes that I forget that like other things exist, like gesture and just like mark making. So with these 4 paintings, I'm really going in with a specific idea or story in mind, which I usually don't do, but I feel like it's kind of good to do that sometimes. I don't know, I'm exploring, guys, I'm exploring. So this is a clear, like a girl here, and this is like her friend, and I was thinking a lot about my best friend in this painting, but I feel like since I'm so caught up in the story of things, like it's not turning out how I want it to turn out. I kind of have to just let go. Like, I don't want that eye in there, but I'm having a hard time letting it go for some reason. And like for this one, I'm so attached to this dancing trapped man, and I just, as you can see, I kind of like I'm starting to distort it, and I'm letting it go here. But it's hard to let go of something that you've painted because you're afraid that it's gonna be ruined or it's not gonna, I don't know, there's so many things, you know? I'm about to get some reading done on the reading list. I feel like I've been experiencing such good art lately, like music and books. I just finished Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. Good read, really good read. On the shorter side, I think it's like 200 pages or so. But good read, but the thing I really didn't enjoy about it is that it was super misogynistic. Like, of course, this was written decades ago. That could be wrong. I don't know, but yeah, it's a very male protagonist viewpoint, and yeah, like there are just some things that didn't sit right with me. But I will say his prose is so poetic, and the way he describes things, like it's really beautiful. I would highly recommend it. It does talk about, you know, the queer male experience in Paris. It's a story about how he comes to terms with his sexuality, and in the end he doesn't really come to terms with it. You have to read it, you know, but it's basically his struggle with his sexuality and his lover. Yeah, really good read. What else is there? Diary of Anais Nin. I feel like that's just been around quite some time now. Really good. Haven't finished that. I'm trying to start The Birth of Tragedy by Nietzsche, and I haven't started it yet. I read the excerpt, or like the beginning introduction part that a different artist or author writes. In the beginning, there's a really beautiful quote that I enjoyed. I don't know if it's by Richard Wagner or Nietzsche, but it basically says like the health of a culture is estimated by the terms of the art that it produces, and I think that's so true. Like when in times of despair and ruin, the art is what we all go towards, because what else can we do except create and express and what's the word? Yeah, we need to release these emotions into something, and that's usually, you know, art. There's a really great interview by Ethan Hawke.
Is a thing that worries me sometimes whenever you talk about creativity, because it can have this kind of feel that it's just nice. It's not. It's vital. It's the way we heal each other. Most people don't spend a lot of time thinking about poetry until their father dies. They go to a funeral, you lose a child. Somebody breaks your heart, they don't love you anymore. And all of a sudden, you're desperate for making sense out of this life. And has anybody ever felt this bad before? How did they come out of this cloud? Or the inverse, something great. You meet somebody and your heart explodes. You love them so much you can't even see straight. And that's when art's not a luxury, it's actually sustenance. We need it. In singing our song, in telling our story, in inviting you to say, hey, listen to me, and I'll listen to you, we're starting a dialogue, and we start to witness each other's common humanity.
We are back at the stew. This is what we're working with. You guys, I've been struggling with these paintings, but the struggle is definitely part of the process. It's very frustrating, I have to say, but you know what, like, it is what it is. Good morning, another day in the studio, and we're just gonna review some paintings because I feel like a lot has been done. This painting is almost complete. I just want to get rid of this blue here, the dark blue and the sky blue, and then It's giving very much landscape, girl in the field type vibe. Today we're gonna work on this. Very, I think I have some work to do on this one. There's a lot of chaos and tornado energy. Yeah, I'm a little bit more lost on this one, but today we'll figure it out. This one I have not even worked on for many days because I feel I'm letting it dry first and it feels very, very powerful. You can see like there's like a face here, a portrait, but there's too much going on the sides, so we need to just figure that out eventually. This one, I believe it's completed. It's called Trapped Man Dancing or something along the lines of that, like the trapped man dances, I'm not sure. You can kind of see this figure and he's like in this box, right? Is he trapped? Is he dancing? I'm not sure. There's kind of like an abstract doorway with a boat, which is his escape. And yeah, there's just a lot going on. I love like these gestures here in this corner. It's like this is supposed to be the arm, and I love it, yeah. This is his spine. I love the spine. And, you know, again, this is his arm, you know, that's like the arm, that's the hand. And there's sort of like this sword that's like he's stabbing himself, you know? And there's a lot of pain and blood, but is the pain like, is he putting himself in pain? Is he the one yielding the sword when he can just exit and take the boat out of here? I am currently in the library of the hotel. I'm going to read Salomon Lilian, Old Masters. Interesting. And then I found this other book by Yosef Sato. It's called My Favorite Place is the Garden in My Head. They both look really interesting. This is like more, you know, traditional Renaissance era. This is more abstract, and I'm actually really excited to read the text because I love listening to and hearing about what the process is when people paint or make art. This space is so beautiful. It's like very cabin feel. This painter, they just had an exhibition for this painter. I think she's from the Netherlands. I'll put her name down somewhere. But they have other little artworks here. And it's just a vibe in here. I've yet to really chill here. But there are so many nooks and crannies of this place that, you know, there's so much seating area and like, ugh, so beautiful. So beautiful and really, really well curated. I need to look at this again because I don't know if I went too far or not. I don't think I did, but I don't know. There's some sort of cage down here. There's definitely like a tornado happening, you know? Like the cage is rising up. You see like these going upwards motion gestures. The cage is rising up into something. There's some sort of, there's a dance here. There's a dance in chaos, in a cage that's being released. But yeah, again, like this idea of being not ruptured, but releasing, and there's like a motion, like I don't know what this is called, like releasing and freedom. Yeah, something is just being released in this painting. Oh my God, the monster is being released. So the very first layer of this painting, there was like a monster shell. I did an acrylic painting, first layer acrylic painting months ago. And that was, yes, it's the monster being released from his jail. Oh my God. Okay. Yes, the very first foreground, the very first layer, there was some monster, like a shell, a crab, a lobster crab, okay? And now the monster is being released, but it's not, scary. It's not evil. It's balance. It's freedom. It's being released from the shackles of its own jail cell, which, we move on to this painting again. This is the man, not a monster anymore. The lobster has turned into a man, and evolution, right? We were all cells, amoeba at one point, and now we're like these humans with, 2 legs. So the man is a man with 2 legs and 2 arms now, but he's still trapped. He's still trapped in this cage that he's put himself in. He's inflicting his own pain onto himself, directly into his spine, when all he has to do is just like walk to the exit. The exit is right there, but he can't see. He's blinded. He's blinded. We're all blinded, you guys. We're all blinded from the things that we cannot see, and the things that are blinding us are entrapping us. But the blinding and the sword, the pain is inflicted upon ourselves, when all we have to do is just freaking walk out the door and take the boat out, And perhaps this is the boat. I don't know. It looks like a boat to me now. Goodness. This one, I have no idea. Again, she's moving along. Again, like we have a face here, and this is like her thought patterns, right? I guess this is a girl because we're using she, her. This is representing, like it's the sky, it's lightness, it's bright, it's golden energy. And she's trying to get there. She's trying to get there, but there's a lot of clouding, a lot of damping and pain and terror and hurt, but she's trying. She's using her third eye to get there. Visually, we're not there yet because we just haven't worked on her yet, but that is the story. There we go. Perfect. And with that, I bid you adieu. We're leaving the studio. We're gonna go get some food. We're gonna make food. Wow, that was a great session. Oh my God, I love talking to you guys. That's when my mind, everything starts to go. Okay, bye. The last painting has been finished. Okay, I explained all this before, and now, man is out in nature, but there's still tension, right? There's tension. He's not satisfied, he's not happy. He's out in nature, he's free, but there's still problems, there's still conflict. Finally, we get to the last painting. There's no more conflict. Man realizes that he is not in nature, but he is nature. The Native American people, many Native American tribes, don't have a separation of man and nature. So that's what's been on my mind, and that's what kind of inspired this painting. You can see there's kind of a portrait in here. There's a face. My shadow is really blocking it. Okay. In the middle of the painting, you can kind of see a face forming. There's two blue eyes, there's like a yellow nose with orange nostrils, and there's a diamond shape in the middle of the eyes, which represents the third eye. And that is representative of Mother Nature and the fact that this man is finally free. You know, his third eye is open, and that's why you see all these swirling white and yellow and blue gestures around the third eye. He's finally lifted, he has transcended, he has ascended. And not only in the center is there a face, but this is also representation of the 7 chakras. In the bottom of the painting, you see it starts with this red color, which is the root chakra, the Muladhara, and then we go up the scale to the orange area. There's 2 orange circular shapes, and that's representative of the sacral chakra, the Swadhisthana. And then we go up to the yellow chakra, the 3rd chakra, which is the solar plexus. And then we go up to, and then the background is kind of in this green, which is like the heart chakra, right? And then we go up the scale one more time to throat chakra, and then the 3rd eye, and yeah. So there's a lot going on, a lot of symbolism in the painting. On the left side, you can see like there's lots of blues and sky blues, and in the background there's like these like green colors, which is like the earth, right? The earth is green, blue, white, brown. On the right side, we see mountain ranges, reds, browns, yellows. So this is all the earth energy, right? We have the 7 chakras, we have the ocean, we have the mountains, we have the forests. And then at the top, we just have like this burst of creativity, this bursting of life, of energy. And the man is finally free. The man is finally free because he realizes that he is not separate from nature. He is nature. Nature is him. And with that, our series, I think, is complete. Our 4 paintings for yourself. And I guess the thesis of this series is to free yourself, to remind yourself, to remember that we are nature. We are Mother Earth. Mother Earth lives within us, and there's only unity. There's no separation of anything. You know, I am you, you are me. I am the woman that sold my groceries this morning. She is me. None of us are separate. You know, this building is me. Like this table, like I am not separate from this table. Like, yes, I can push against, you know, this table because of atoms, but really like our energy fields are totally enmeshed. You know, it's just the fact that our atoms are repelling each other in the 3D space. Yeah, separation is an illusion. Hey guys, I am editing back this video and I am just in absolute awe about the painting process because as you can see, by the end of the video, I forget completely that I have this dream about, you know, going through that heavenly field and trying to get out to nature and remembering that I am nature. Like, that story completely gets away from my mind, and I analyze the paintings for several days after I finish them, which is when the story starts to come back. But it doesn't come from that dream. It just kind of comes from looking at the paintings and seeing this whole process as a whole now. I'm just completely shocked at how painting works, how the subconscious works. And yeah, if you've watched this video up until this point, like, thanks so much for being here. I love painting so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.